Hello everybody, it's the POGLIVE here. So today I'm doing something a little bit different and a new thing I want to do going forward, which is doing live reactions to videos and then doing research on them and then making full-fledged debunking videos. This video in particular, I'm not going to do it, mainly because there's not really much to say of substance. But I did want to upload my live reaction to it because I have nothing else to upload right now. I have no other ideas. Well, I do have other ideas. I'm going to be debunking a Brett Cooper video real soon. I'll be live streaming the creation and research process of that. But for now, this is just a little video to hold my little subscribers over, and hopefully going forward I want to do this a lot more, get better at live streaming, talking and stuff like that, because I'm not really used to this. Hopefully you guys enjoy regardless though. This is all unedited, so there might be some parts where I'm kind of just looking stuff up, which I did. But anyways, yeah. Tomorrow, the day after this is uploaded, that is, I plan to do live streaming, researching for the Brett Cooper video and stuff. But anyways, yeah, this has gone on a little bit long enough, so enjoy. Okay, so I was about to start making memes and stuff on my live stream right here. Oh, it's almost done actually. And I decided to react to some old videos I was planning to react to before, and stumbled across this one. Uh, wait, why did that change? Weird. No, don't share that feedback, creator. I'm live streaming this right now, and I'm gonna upload this to YouTube with little to no editing, except to maybe like edit out yawns or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, this is a stupid video I came across about 6 months ago, and I even said 6 months ago this seems like prime reaction video for me of aggressive. Hold on, did you just accidentally plug my channel now? Wait, are you this guy? No, you're not the Curious Wanderer. I didn't plug your channel. But people can see your channel though. Here, I'll move your name into the middle of the screen so people see it more clearly. Go follow this guy. Go follow this dude right here on YouTube. He seems chill. He's in my YouTube chat, therefore he's chill. Oh. Okay. Anyways, let's get back on topic. So this is a stupid video from a incel, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's check it out.
Women in gaming.
Oh my gosh, that fucking audio. That fucking audio, dude. Okay. Real talk, real talk.
It's a hot topic, and opinions are varied. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Curious Wanderer here,
Hi,
and
Curious
today I
Wanderer.
want to give you my thoughts on women in gaming.
Okay.
Now, before I get to my main points, I want to clarify that I do not believe women should not play games. Rather, they are welcome to do so, but they need to keep in mind that this is a male dominated hobby.
I remember looking this up, and this is 1 second. That's complete bullshit. Let's see. Only 6% identify as gamers, but it's not. I've reported playing a video game. Let's see. Statista. I think I saw this earlier when I was not earlier when I was first researching this. So it's like almost half and half. Men, of course, slightly dominated, but mostly it's pretty split down the middle. Neither gender really dominates it. It really depends on what genre you're talking about. Like if you're talking about the first person shooter genre, of course guys are gonna fucking love that. If you're talking about like little garden simulator genre like Sims or something, of course women are gonna dominate that. But that's a lie. It takes out all the nuance.
And if they do not like games in general because they are geared too much
Once again, I just gotta point back to this.
toward male gamers, then tough shit. It's not for them, and they have no right to demand that it change to accommodate them.
What? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Is he talking about like forcing women into gaming and like leading roles or something like that with I can't think of any examples off the top of my head to be honest. Maybe that Abby character from The Last of Us 2, is that what he's talking about? Women in gaming and shit? I assume so, to which I have to say that's really stupid, but okay. Go on. I say go on.
Now that
There
that
we
is
go.
out of the way, I have two things I want to talk about. Number one, women in game development, and number two, women in games journalism.
Oh, wonderful.
Before I talk about women in game development, let's take a moment to consider what gaming has been like over the past 20 years or so as it has become
Women.
a mainstream hobby.
That's true.
Before gaming became mainstream, it was considered something that only antisocial losers did.
That's true.
Gamers were among the outcasts of society. They were overwhelmingly male, and the people who developed games were also overwhelmingly male. Because of this, gamers
He's boring
who
me so much, but let's keep watching.
remain overwhelmingly male, even to this day, have come to expect certain things from video games. Things that I believe only male developers can provide on a consistent basis.
Wait, what? Only male developers can provide certain things on a consistent basis. Let me hear that again. 1 second.
Even to this day, have come to expect certain things from video games. Things that I believe only male developers can provide on a consistent basis.
What? Both men and women can provide stuff on a consistent basis depending on what the genre is. Like, don't we have like a bunch of lead developers and lead female like game developers and directors and stuff heading working on God of War Ragnarok? What does he have to say about that? There's like a bigger one, I believe. One that just talked about like minimum wages and living wages and stuff like that in the video game industry. I forget her name, but she ended up saying some stupid shit which I responded to. But she was a kind of a lead figure in the development of God of War Ragnarok. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Men understand men best, and women understand women best.
There's a lot more nuance to that, like femboys and tomboys and shit. But okay.
Now, it is true that there are more female gamers than ever, and I use the word gamer here very loosely, but
Loosely.
women rarely gamed until it became mainstream.
Wait,
Even
let's
now,
check that data again real quick. Let's see how far back that goes. That goes back to 2006, dude. This shit goes back to 2006. Women have been gaming for a long time, ever since like at least the PlayStation era, by the looks of it. That's a lot of women. Woman, as the quartering would like to put it, which we might actually talk about later too.
now, many of them play what would be called casual games, such as Angry Birds, Scrabble, Candy Crush, Farmville, and so
Those are video games, so
on their phones and tablets. They are not the hardcore gamers that most of the legendary franchises of the past have been marketed to. Since men and women are psychologically different and think in different ways, there is great potential that female developers who have creative control over a game's development will approach things in very different ways than male developers would. If too many women are allowed to have significant control over game development, we, the main audience, that being men, may begin to see
we're not the main. It really depends on what the genre is. The issue with this guy is that he seems like. Let me scoot a bit closer to the mic here, just in case. I'm kind of far away from the mic. The issue with this guy, from what I've seen so far, is that he's not really taken into account the nuance that the gaming industry has, because there's like several dozens of gaming genres, FPS shooters, real time strategies, MMORPGs, MMOs, RPGs. There's so many of these kinds of genres out there, and they all kind of cater to either men or women, depending on what the game is, depending on what the genre is, depending on how you're gonna play and all that stuff. There's a lot more nuance to it. Kind of like what he said. women do play lots of casual games, but those are still video games and stuff, you know. And there's nothing wrong with like women in more mainstream games like Call of Duty or The Last of Us or whatever either.
Fewer and fewer games that appeal to us. Now, that's not to say that women should never work on games. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, which are both fantastic male power fantasies, had women working on them.
Every single game is gonna have at least a few women working on them. Let's just put that out there right away.
The ones calling the shots, however, were men. Can you imagine an overwhelmingly female studio which is controlled by women making games like Doom 2016 and Doom?
Sure, of course women can make games like Doom 2016. Like if you like have a middle-aged girl, middle-aged woman who loved the original Doom games making Doom 2016, I guarantee you it'd pop out very similar to the exact same way it popped out right now. It doesn't matter. This guy's just arguing completely based off of feelings. Like there's a lot more new, like I said, nuance, lots of more complexity to it than man and woman have different tastes, different things. There's women who like to cross over and talk about men stuff, like the men stuff, likes trucks, titties, guns, and all that stuff. And then you have like,
Doom Eternal?
shut up,
I sure.
fuck off. Like femboys who are into feminine stuff, Barbies, and all that shit. So there's a lot of complexity than just it being man and woman in these two strictly distinct categories that have nearly nothing in common at all.
Can you imagine an overwhelmingly female studio which is controlled by women making games like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal? I sure can't.
I
So,
can. I can. Isn't there like a lead director on God of War Ragnarok? Let me see real quick. Uh, Not female protagonist and sings. It was somebody, I forget her name, but she's kind of big and is one of the heading develop team people for the new God of War game. Uh Female dev, female developer was sent. I'm sorry, say what? Who did that? Who is the director for God of War? No. It was somebody. I forget who. I can't find it, but
women should be under the supervision of men during game development. There are
Oh my god.
exceptions. They are rare, but they exist. Amy Hennig was the main person behind the Legacy of Kain and the Uncharted series, both of which are much celebrated franchises. Women in game development. I'm not totally against it, but the game industry needs to be very careful who it hires. Now, before I
Well, it depends on the genre. There's some genres which are gonna more likely be better well ran by men, like Doom Eternal and stuff. But then you're gonna have genres like The Sims or Sim City that would probably. I'm just making an assumption here based on what I know of the data regarding what genres men and women play would probably be headed better by women. A woman would probably be better being the lead director of The Sims 4 and all its DLC than a guy would. Most likely, from what I know of, that is. It's so he it depends. It really does. This guy only acts like first person shooters, Call of Duty and shit is all that exists. Yakuza 0.
talk about women in games journalism, I want to say some general things about men. No matter how much activists wish it to not be so, men are attracted to women. They get off to them. They objectify them. It's part of male biology.
Get me.
Without men and women being attracted to each other and having relations, the human race does not continue.
What? I don't think anybody denies that. I don't I let's see how he connects that to this.
About the G4 host Meltdown. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's something else. Basically, G4 is back, and the new female host is definitely not as attractive as Olivia Munn and
I don't know what G4 is, so I can't really speak on that.
Morgan Webb were. When she received backlash for her inaccurate takes on gaming, she did not own up to those mistakes. She blamed the backlash on misogyny and basically told the entire male audience that they were sexist pigs for daring to find Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb hot. She said they did not exist to be easy on the eyes for men. This
I don't know what the hell he's referring to, so I can't really speak on that.
is objectively false. Not only were Olivia and Morgan hired in part for their beauty, but also the network took full advantage of their sex appeal to attract male viewers. That's not all, though. In addition to being hot, they actually knew their shit when it came to gaming.
What?
They had substance. Remember, gamers are overwhelmingly men, and men
Oh my god, he keeps saying that, which is statistically false. If you're like, is he talking about like a FPS game or a fighting game or like a Genshin Impact kind of game? I don't know what kind of game this G4 is, but if he's talking, I'm assuming it's like a fighting game or something like that. Let me look it up real quick. Actually, he said it was G4 television network. Um. Uh. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm gonna go under assumption it's a game that's in a genre dominated by men, of course. Um, so like in that case, yeah, but he keeps making these stupid generalizations. I'm starting to repeat myself now because he's starting to repeat himself. I've already had to clarify this point like 4 times so far, I think.
like sexy women. So for this screeching harpy to come barging into gaming and basically call all men who like beautiful women misogynists simply for behaving according to their biology is a huge turnoff. She ended her rant with, "If you don't like it, don't watch it." And what do you know? G4 is now bleeding subscribers.
G Ford? No, not Ford. G Ford. Fuck off. G Ford. Not the president. uh, video game. Okay, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
One has to ask why this woman decided to be a games journalist. It's plain that she hates men and hates sex appeal in the industry, whether that be female hosts, booth babes, or in video games. In my opinion, she does not take gaming seriously. She sees it as problematic, and she wants the medium to change to suit radical feminist thinking. My last example of women doing damage to gaming.
Wait, what? She did damage to gaming by criticizing the amount of like sexism there is. Like you gotta admit, it's kind of sexist to like have a to objectify women for the sake of profit and shit, right? That's kind of sexist, I would say. Using women as like objects to be able to make a profit, sexualizing them for a bunch of horny incels who can't get laid for the sake of making money. I would call that a little bit sexist. But I don't see how criticizing that does harm to the industry.
Is Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh boy, Anita Sarkeesian. Oh my fucking gosh. I remember I used to hate the fuck out of her. I still do to a certain extent, but like she's nowhere near as bad as the reactionaries and stuff claimed she was back during the Gamergate era and shit. She is nowhere near that bad.
The damage that this bitch has done to gaming is significant. She has managed to infect the whole industry.
She has not managed to do anything. The industry is completely fucking fine. Well, I mean, outside of like microtransactions and shit, of course. Outside of like, you know, the greed and the loot boxes and stuff, the gaming industry has been relatively fine. The decrease in quality for games overall in the AAA game industry is kind of sucked, but it's not like there's any sort of like super woke progressive messaging that's being forced in or whatever by anybody, let alone Anita.
With her rhetoric, which says that sex appeal in games is bad. As a result, women in sexy outfits and even women who just look appealing are more rare than they have ever been before. Not only do
They're not
developers
rare. They're not fucking rare. What the hell are you talking about? One of the biggest games available right now is Genshin Impact, and they have pretty sexy women. Female playable characters. They have some pretty fucking sexy. Look at this. They got sexy women. This is one of like the big games right now. The one of the biggest money makers. Look at. Are they underage? Let's skip that one. We'll just assume they're above 18 or above the age of consent. That is, for the sake of the argument. Wait, do they have you playing as like underage kids or something? Let's just go with this one, right? This is like one of the biggest games right now, and they're sexy characters. They're conventionally attractive and appealing to the eye. They're not like full. They're not full on skimpy and like dead or alive characters with their tits out, but they're still sexy and stuff. That's a big example of sex appeal in games being, utilized.
cover them up, but also they go out of their way to make them as unattractive as possible.
What are you talking about? I haven't seen any unattractive characters in video games for as long as I can remember. Most of them are conventionally attractive or at least super fuckable. From what I've seen and remembered in recent years.
You to men, and men are sick and tired of it. Cover them up, but also they go out of their way to make them as unattractive as possible.
Is there going to be any examples? Let's see if he provides any examples.
As a fuck you to men, and men are sick and tired of it.
I don't see anybody complaining about that, at least. Maybe in the little incel manosphere, but other than that, no.
They seem to think that strong female character equals masculine and mannish.
What?
Sarkeesian also had a lot to say on the role that female characters played in games. For example, she hated the damsel in distress idea.
That's a fucking... Let me see. Sean went over this. Let me see if it's on Rational Wiki. I know Rational Wiki did a lot of... I know Rational Wiki did a lot of debunking around the lies about her. Let's see if they talk about it. Let's see. Did they talk about it? I know Sean showed that Sean, a YouTuber. Let me see real quick. He talked about how the damsel in distress shit.
Or teal deer. You see, because it's a teal deer. Yeah. No, I was just kidding. It was just satire. I was doing to things other than the self. And that is the common understanding of the word. If you just say, you have compassion, our angle, right, dumb, YouTube, bull. You had a lot of Anita's she was involved with. The implication to keep in mind, follow up. Anita saw it was one the last bit. People. So the again, let's go non.
Okay, I think it was this one
everyone.
actually.
This is a video about YouTuber Thunderfoot, which means all the people scrolling past right now didn't watch Anita's video. So let's do better than those guys and actually watch Anita's video. And here's the first time she mentions Overwatch. Neat trick. So
it's this video where he talks about it. I don't want to scroll through it right now. I'm probably gonna edit this part out, but and probably edit in the actual clip where it goes over it. But she's not really against the damsel in distress thing to the extent that these people make her out to be.
Women think of games differently than men do. They want different things from games. Many of them do not appreciate gaming for what it is, but desire to change it to suit their own tastes. As with game development, women should not generally be in games journalism unless it be the few who actually like games as they are.
But the ones that do like the games as they are, like the games as they are. There's not many people that are how do you put it? That are trying to change it as he's claiming. Those people, the people who are trying, I think this is something that I remember believing and that I believe to this day. The people trying to change games to be social justice and woke and shit will never actually play these games. They don't actually give a shit. They don't even own a console most likely. But the issue is those kinds of people are so few and far between. It's like they have basically no kind of say in how games are made, and these people are just severely overreacting to their presence, I would say.
As an aside, maybe gaming will have a renaissance soon. Loot boxes, NFTs, DLCs, season passes, microtransactions. The AAA industry has gone mad. All they care about is profit.
I
Meanwhile,
agree with that, which is why I'm a socialist.
the tools needed to make games
Well, part of the reason that is I'm not a socialist just because video games are getting greedy. That's not the only reason, trust me.
are free or low cost. All it takes to create a game is for a group of friends with some knowledge to come together and make it happen. I believe that one day gaming will be focused on fun and enjoyment again.
They still are. A lot of them are still. Even back during January, they were still about fun and stuff for the most part.
That's everything. Thanks for watching.
Fuck you, buddy. Okay.